break it down like 24 karat.
Good morning. Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the Leader Man's persnickety sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, we are being seen around the world on our live video stream. That's finally available at talk973.com. Windows took forever to boot it. But you know, it knows more than you do. It doesn't want to do what you want to do. It wants to go put pretty new splash screens on the display there. Anyway, you can get to it by going to talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. If you're on your mobile device, you can get to it with YouTube. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man in there. Leader Man, all one word. Then, if you just need audio, you can get that alone by using several different platforms like TuneIn, iTunes, Streamer, just to name a few. And put WEEB in the search so we end up at the top of the search. Or you can always get our stream off of our website. Upper right-hand corner of every page at talk973.com has the link that says Listen Live. Tap it once and you're listening that quick. Cloudy today with rain primarily. May see a little bit of snow mixed in there. No accumulation expected. A high of 37. Then tonight, mostly cloudy. Chance of rain and snow. Still no accumulation. As this rain finally pulls out of here. Look for a low of 30. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. 45 for a high. Tomorrow night, 25. Wednesday, sunny. 49. Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 51. And to finish off the work week, of course, you knew rain be back in time for the weekend. Cloudy and showers on Friday, high of 58. Saturday, partly cloudy, scattered showers, 56. And Sunday, we do get sunshine all day and 57 degrees. Might be tolerable out there. Who knows?
Maybe 72 with sunshine.
Right now, it'll be sunny, but 57. Right now, around the Sand Hills, winds are, let's see, though there are north-northeast at 9, visibility 3 statute miles. Pressure is 30 even, dew point 35, humidity max at 100%, and it's some rain in the area. Got some areas not getting anything. 35 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. I noticed that we were, as I said in the forecast all weekend, that we were kind of on the line between just another rain, cold rain, or snowy mess. I don't like that line that's just north of Carthage, just where the real line is, toward Robbins.
Oh, poor Robbins. They're always getting it in the shorts.
Robbins Town Hall's closed, whereas here, you already know what it is. It's just another rainy day. And that's pretty much the way it's going to stay. The school board, not school board, but school system, having trouble finding bus drivers. You know, I wonder how long it takes to gather a whole department full of stupid. We know that their communications expert is a moron. We discussed that before. Catherine, what's her name? Catherine Murphy. And her my dispute with the administration over there at Pinecrest when they were basically stabbing me in the back after 50 years of service. Her whole solution was, why don't you call the other station and see if they'll put you on their speaker. I said, what? Where'd you get $100,000 a year and that's the best you can come up with? Well, now the best that they can come up with with the bus drivers is what they're trying to do is just incorporate more routes into one driver. If you're going to need the bus drivers on a regular basis, which you do, you have to raise the price till you get them. That's what it boils down to. Because it's a split job. You got hours in the morning, hours in the evening. Not everybody can do that. There are some that can, obviously. And when the price is attractive enough, they'll do it.
Yeah, that's the free market.
That's the way it works. And all this other crap of inconveniencing the students, parents, and everybody else. We got plenty of money to come up with a special app to tell you when the bus is going to be there. Well, maybe we got the cart before the horse. Maybe you ought to have the bus get there first.
I know 10 years ago there were routes that were like an hour and a half. The kids would be on the bus for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I walked to school in that time.
As the old saying was, what can my kid learn on the bus? Of course, the other alternative is parents may have to extend the responsibility of being a parent and get their own kid to school. That's why I never had to ride a bus because...
That is so insensitive.
Is that insensitive?
Yes.
No. They're not. Are they really truly my responsibility to get to school? Are they?
Hey, you're talking to somebody who has very strong feelings about taking away... I remember I had an NCO. He and his wife had no children. They paid quite extensive taxes down there, property taxes down in Texas, and most of that went to public schools.
Yeah. I don't mind paying for the schools or the education because, A, it was done for me, and B, it's just my turn to pay.
Both crappy reasons, but all right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, that's how you have a better society.
Says you.
Says me. At least teach them how to fish so they can feed themselves and not jump on my payroll.
Yeah, that's called begging the question, assuming that not having the government involved will lead to people not being educated.
That's a whole bigger discussion.
Well, it is. It's the one
right now we're just trying to get the bus to show up to pick them up. And if we're going to continue to do that, then you're going to have to, pony up and pay. And if you don't have the money, well, I suggest you start with Miss Murphy's salary, because she's obviously way overpaid for what she does. Well, the response that I got, which was literally none, and the greedy little response to that, she said to me, she had the gall to say to me, "What do we get out of it?" I said, gee, I don't know. 30,000 listeners? How's that sound? That enhance your program for free? You don't have to put up the $1,000 a gain to go produce it and get it on the air.
Well, the reality is
what a moron statement.
You've given the school district in various forms huge quantities of free time on this station, just in the last 5 years even.
Well, trying to last 50. I mean, at one time we carried everything, even their volleyball games. That's how overboard we did it here. That was before I bought the place. But we took the volleyball games off. They just...
How do you call a volleyball game on the... Hey, slam!
Like I said, it wasn't good radio.
Jeez.
Which is why I took it off. But anyway,
It's like trying to call table ice hockey.
She was going like, "Oh,
air hockey.
Why don't we get a share of your advertisers?" I said, "Well, why don't you go out there and get the advertisers and do the copy and put it on the air? And, oh, by the way, when we don't make enough, how about you sharing the losses?"
Well,
brainchild. You can tell a woman has never been, or a man, anybody, that's never been in business. Because they make stupid statements like that. But on the other hand, they can't be but so stupid because they got us to pay her over $100,000 a year to be that stupid. Or to be in a Peter Principle job. That's a job way above their pay grade. That's what that's all about. And for, I don't know who's making the decision. I guess it's
Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob Grimacy himself, who has decided not to raise the pay to get the drivers. And there's always a finger point. Well, the school board has to approve it. No. Well, you just got to find the money, dude.
He's got to be the one that hired her, too, and paid that salary.
Yeah. I told you months and months, years ago, 2 years ago, how to save on these 3 schools $14 million simply by building them yourself. While we've never done that before. We can't do that. Well, you got some clown on the payroll. I think his name's Birthright, whatever, just to go around with his little plans to make sure they put a door there and a door there and a window there. And by the way, that's the architect's job and the engineer's job. You don't have to hire an extra person to do it for yourself. But they did. You get the architect to do it, and he signs off on it before you make a payment. That all this is there, done correctly. I've done many Section 8 projects where that's done.
You do realize you're supposed to speak no evil of the public schools, right? The government schools are sacrosanct.
Well, when you leave $40 million out in the middle of the street that you could have picked up for the taxpayer, and then you whine because you don't have an extra $2 to pay drivers to attract them. I got no sympathy for you. None. Except that you're incompetent and don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, we need to raise taxes so we can buy more.
That's their solution to everything. Oh, we'll have to raise taxes so we can get more drivers. No, how about build a school yourself and save the money, and golly, then you got money for drivers. What a novel idea. All right, 7:43. That's enough of that for today. Don't worry, we got lots more coming your way on the schools and the school board. Let's move on. Sound bites. Where is it? Yeah, I guess it's right there. Get up here and light things up a little bit, Matthew.
You want me to start dancing?
Huh?
I'll start dancing.
No, they have a new program on the network. You haven't seen it yet. I bet it. There's that stupid Napster. Shut up. They have a new program on the E! Network, which you haven't seen yet, but trust me, it's coming to the network very soon.
From the E! Network, creators of The Kardashians and Grandma's Meth Lab, comes the newest and funniest holiday reality TV show. Merry Christmas! Drunk Mall Santas. Follow us as we find the funniest and drunkest mall Santas throughout this crazy shopping country. It's a fa-la-la laugh riot from Santas singing I saw Mommy Santa to Santa bringing childhood disappointment. You're a naughty kid and I get nothing. You just won't believe what we catch on camera.
Santa, can I have a Barbie for Christmas?
Why, sure.
Mommy, Santa barfed all over me.
Drunk Mall Santas. Every night through Christmas on the Entertainment Optional Network. Oh, I think I ate some bad reindeer.
Okay. Lighten up, people. You tuned in to have fun, so I'm giving it to you. You know how it is this year with the old PC police out there tearing down everything that has any PC imperfections in it, like Christmas songs. Here's a recording session of a recent update of Christmas songs.
There's nothing like classic Christmas music this time of year. And coming soon, the Ultimate Christmas Collection with great songs like Little Drummer Boy.
Oh, sorry, that one's out. It means short people.
Oh, well, songs like Frosty the Snowman.
That's out too. No mention of a snow woman in that song, so it might be offensive to equal rights activists.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Bullying.
Do you hear what I hear?
Offensive to the deaf.
I saw Mommy kissing.
Inappropriate behavior.
How about Santa Claus is coming to town?
Nope. We don't know his immigration status. Could be an illegal.
Sleigh bells? Let me guess.
Cruelty to animals.
All right, forget it.
Okay. Meanwhile, an elementary school principal in Nebraska was put on leave last week after she sent out a memo that basically said anything Christmas-related wasn't allowed in classrooms, like candy canes, Christmas music, and pictures of Santa. Here's what one parent had to say about all that.
I feel like it was very deliberate and intentional about eliminating just Christmas. Educating our children is very personal, and we give our children over to educators to not only educate them about math and science, but learning all kinds of other things. If a school is going to be able to eliminate everything about Christmas, and that it may not stop there.
You and I know somebody very well who believes that the war on Christmas is a fabricated concept.
We do?
We do.
Let's see. Well, here's what you call fighting back. Oh, by the way, I'm getting an email from Catherine Murphy's mother. We're going to hide behind her apron. She's pretty much telling me to quit picking on her daughter. Well, let me put it this way. When your daughter makes over $100,000 of my tax money, she better act like it, like she's worthy of it, and come up with something a little bit more profound to say. Because right now I'm getting about a $4,000 a year job. A business owner in Westford, Vermont, named Ted Pelkey, recently spent $4,000 on a giant wooden hand giving the middle finger. He says that it's a protest against the local government. He's been trying to get a building permit so he can relocate his building, and they won't let him. Here are two people in his town explaining what the sculpture looks like, and Ted talking about why he did it.
It's a big middle finger, really high above the tree line.
It's a big hand. It looks like a fist with one finger lifted up in an expression that we all know what it means.
And so who is the statue intended for?
It's intended for the people who run our town. I'm hoping that we can get it through the people who live in the town of Westford to have a really long look at the people who are running their town.
There you go. And a 31-year-old guy in Texas was arrested for trespassing at a Breakfast with Santa event over the weekend after he walked around telling kids Santa wasn't real. Here's the mayor of the town and a member of the church.
We love Santa Claus. We love Christmas in Cleveland, Texas. And I hope those protesters know they're probably going to get a big lump of coal instead of being on the nice list.
Christmas is love. It's not Santa. Christmas is love, and love is giving. And if you want to give through Santa, but I still believe in Santa. So
I can't imagine why anybody would want to protest Santa.
It is the war on Christmas. And what is the war on Christmas? The war on Christmas is a war on Christianity. I'm not a Christian. I'm not religious at all. But it's plain as the nose on Rudolph's face there that there are people who want to denigrate Christianity and denigrate traditions. So, for political purposes.
Well, they need to go celebrate Christmas their way and leave those who celebrate it a different way.
I'm not interested in. Yeah, they're changing it. It's a holiday festival now.
Yeah, a holiday tree and all that crap.
Until we can get rid of the tree.
Let's see. I had something I wanted to play, but I'm not finding it. All right. There's a firefighter in Boston named Brendan Edwards who likes to dress as Buddy the Elf and start pillow fights with random strangers in public.
Jeez. It's taken a little too far.
Well, he's lucky he doesn't start a random fist fight with somebody who doesn't want to be whomped with a pillow.
Yeah.
But here he is.
Hey, pillow fight. Pillow fight. Pillow fight.
Time out. Come here, buddy. Time out. Stop, please don't do this.
380 gunfight. How's that sound?
Yeah.
You're not going to hit me with your pillow.
I'm just guessing that he's got some pillowcases with some, some very light batting in them or something.
Oh, nurse stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, not even that. Hopefully, it's just something that just when you get hit with it, it's like poof.
It could be all air.
Otherwise, people are going to go after
him. Video of Buddy the Elf starting pillow fights went viral last week and inspired Michael Strahan and Sarah Haynes to have their own pillow fight on Good Morning America. Oh, boy, this is what I want to wake up and watch.
And I like to bring some cheer, make people smile.
Wait a minute. Get full effect of Michael. Everything's Daffy Duck. I didn't get the full effect.
Happy? Why? We got some pillows here.
If you hurt me, I swear my...
Come on, girl, grab that pillow. Let's get to it. Get him out! Oh! Problem is, I try to go for the jugular.
Must see TV.
And they have ratings. Go figure. An 88-year-old woman in Tampa went 69 years thinking that her only child had died at birth.
Wait a minute. Run that past me again.
An 88-year-old woman in Tampa went 69 years thinking her only child had died at birth. She decided to give it up for adoption, but when she asked to see it, her doctors told her that the girl didn't make it. But they lied. Evidently, her daughter tracked her, or eventually her daughter tracked her down, thanks to a DNA test. And they met for the very first time last week.
When I said I wanted to see the baby, they told me she died.
And I said, well, here's my mother's given name. And she said, oh, that's my aunt. Oh, by the way, she's still alive. Like, oh, my God. Been a lifetime of wanting this. Literally. I remember being 5 years old and wishing that I could find my mother.
You know he's not dead.
I'm not dead. It's good to meet you.
Same to you.
Okay.
Wow.
Good news story. I got one more good news for you. Last Tuesday, a guy was on his way to see his son in the hospital when he crashed into the back of a semi-truck. That never works out well. His pickup truck caught fire, and his feet were trapped under the dash.
Gee.
Luckily, a brave cop was able to pull him out, and his body cam captured the moment.
When I first showed up, I felt useless. We're not firemen. The steering wheel wasn't moving, and then flames started to come in on the floorboard down at his feet where his legs were trapped.
Is the dash holding your leg in? Okay. Man, please help me. I got one leg. I can get the second. Keep going. He's out. Be advised that male's out of the vehicle now. The vehicle's still on fire.
I just plead it out, Lord. Don't let me burn to death in this truck.
I walked back up and looked at the vehicle, and the front seat was destroyed. The door was melting from the heat. I think I got lucky, and I was in the right place at the right time to be able to help him. I know many other deputies here would do the same thing.
He saved my life.
Well,
Wow.
kudos to the policeman.
He must have just ripped him out of there.
Well, the adrenaline must have been pumping, because when you're that close to the fire, it is hot.
I'll give up that kind of damage to my feet to get out of a burning car. Phew.
And that's, well, I've already given it away near about. What is this sound?
Sounds like a rocket to me. The rumble of a rocket.
Well, actually, it's the first ever audio recorded on Mars.
Of the wind.
2 sensors on their InSight lander picked up the sound of vibrations caused by a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind. It's hard to hear it in the raw audio, but they bumped it up 2 octaves. It's basically a low rumbling sound. And here it is sped up 100 times.
It's riveting when it's sped up 100 times. It's like a 1,500 mile an hour wind right there.
And when you speed it up even more and listen carefully, you can hear proof that life does exist. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Well, that's from the Mars lander.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
The InSight lander.
Yes, indeed.
Let's see. Oh, and the big story in sports yesterday was the miracle in Miami. The New England Patriots were up 33-28 with 7 seconds to go. The Dolphins were 69 yards from the end zone. But they threw a pass to midfield, lateraled it twice, and somehow made it to the end zone to win. Rob Gronkowski was the last guy with a chance to make a tackle, but he stumbled. Even the TV announcers thought it was over mid-play because they said, and that'll do it. But here's the call.
Tannehill will throw it, and this will end it after the shovel, or will it? Miami running around, circling. Oh, look out! Gronkowski didn't have the ankle. Touchdown! Oh, Kenyon Drake! A miracle!
And you notice also how this year it seems like, they drive the crowd noise up so loud you can barely hear the announcers. I mean, it's hard.
Good Monday morning, waking up to scattered showers today. The chance for some mix possible as well, and not expecting much in the way of accumulation today. Tonight, it is going to be chilly, and as temperatures climb into the mid to upper 30s today, tonight as lows fall into the mid to upper 20s, any melting could refreeze, so be cautious driving tomorrow. Mostly cloudy tonight, and then clearing skies expected throughout the day tomorrow as highs climb into the mid 40s south and the upper 30s to the north. I'm Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump calls them great people, referring to the people he's been talking to about the job of White House Chief of Staff to succeed John Kelly, who leaves at month's end. The president vowing to name a replacement soon.
The president tweets that he's in the process of interviewing some really great people for Chief of Staff. Some of those names possibly include White House Budget Chief Mick Mulvaney, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, and North Carolina GOP Congressman Mark Meadows. The person thought to be Mr. Trump's first choice was the Vice President's Chief of Staff, but Nick Ayers is out of the running and will be leaving the White House. Greg Clugston, Washington.
There are widespread power outages, numerous wrecks on the highways, and delayed or canceled flights, result of a pre-winter storm that spread snow, ice, and freezing rain across the southeast. One of the Democrats who will be in a leadership position when his party takes back control of the House says allegations of hush money payments to women during the 2016 campaign could have some serious legal consequences for President Trump.
Incoming House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff says there's a very real prospect the president could be indicted the day he leaves office. But Schiff tells CBS's Face the Nation it may be too soon to talk about removing the president from office. On NBC's Meet the Press, independent Senator Angus King said impeachment should only be a last resort.
At least a third of the country would think it was just political revenge and a coup against the president.
Sagar Meghani, Washington.
And on Twitter this morning, the president writes there was no Russia collusion, so now, in Mr. Trump's words, the Dems go to a simple private transaction, wrongly call it a campaign contribution, which it was not. On Wall Street, Dow futures are down 3 points, NASDAQ futures up 10 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you could do something to protect your family with just 10 minutes effort, would you bother? If something should ever happen to you, that 10-minute effort could mean the difference between hardship and financial security for your loved ones. Life insurance is something most people don't like to think about. Too many people do nothing until it's too late. The reason? People expect it'll be a big hassle. Ethos changes all that. Ethos is modern life insurance for people who don't have the time for fine print, extra doctor's appointments, or hidden fees. Ethos is affordable. It only takes about 10 minutes to apply online, and you'll be taking the first step in ensuring your family has the help they need to maintain the life you're building for them, even if the unexpected happens. Ethos brings you choices that don't require an in-person meeting with an agent, and in most cases, there's no need for a doctor's appointment. Ethos, life insurance for the 21st century. Apply online in just 10 minutes. Get a free quote now at getethos.com. That's getethos.com. Getethos.com.
The European Union's top court says Britain can change its mind over Brexit, deciding unilaterally to remain in the EU.
I think it's difficult to see it as anything other than immensely helpful for those who want a second referendum and who want Britain to remain, because A, it shows that Britain could. It wouldn't have to have some fancy dance with the European Union, other countries. And B, it also means that Britain could just stay in the European Union on the same sort of rather favourable and different terms it enjoys to the other EU27. Now, none of that is to say that it makes a second vote, another referendum, more likely. It just means that it strengthens the hand of those who say, look, why not?
The BBC's Rob Watson. China raising the pressure on the U.S. and Canada as a bail hearing for a top Chinese tech executive set to resume today in Vancouver. A headline in the Communist Party newspaper calls Canada's treatment of the chief financial officer of Huawei Technologies inhumane. Townhall.com. The top French diplomat tells President Trump to, in effect, mind his own business.
Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian says President Donald Trump should not comment on France's domestic affairs, notably nationwide protests that began over fuel tax hikes meant to wean the country off fossil fuels. Trump has tweeted twice on the issue, saying in one last weekend that the Paris Agreement isn't working out so well for Paris. It was a reference to the 2015 Paris Climate Accord, which the US is leaving and which France's Emmanuel Macron has championed worldwide. Macron is to address the nation, breaking a long silence over rising protests that are shaking France. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Prosecutors in Tokyo have charged former Nissan chairman Carlos Ghosn with underreporting tens of millions of dollars of income. Ghosn and another Nissan executive being held because a prosecutor spokesman says are considered flight risks. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Fields Plumbing and Heating has served Moore County since 1948. Actually, the founder, J. Ellis Fields, started in the business as a boy in 1907 with Pinehurst, Inc., who provided plumbing and heating services to Pinehurst homes and local hotels. Today, Fields Plumbing and Heating continues to provide superior heating service, plumbing technology, and customer service at the best possible price. When you need help, call the company with the most experience. Fields Plumbing and Heating, 910-949-3232. 949-3232.
We're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help you with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore, paint like no other. Genuine Benjamin Moore paint. Exclusively at JB Short Carpet 1. JB Short Carpet 1 on Highway 1 North between Southern Pines and Bass. Or on the web at shortcarpet1.com.
Hi, Chef Karen here. They say the early bird gets the worm. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you visit Philly and Colts Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays from 4 to 5:30, you're going to get a whole lot more than worms. You're going to get to choose from 4 wonderful entrees that include a salad or a cup of soup for only $18. Make a reservation or just pop in. Join the Philly and Colts Early Bird Bunch and flock to Philly and Colts at Little River Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays between 4 and 5:30, just 4 miles north of the traffic circle on 15501.
Hello, it's Pat Mignon here from Jersey Mike's in Aberdeen. When our customers order one of our subs, we always ask if they would like it Mike's way. Why Mike's way? Well, we've developed what we think is the perfect blend of fresh vegetables, juice, and spices to make the best sub experience for you every time you order a Jersey Mike's fresh sliced sub. We've been doing it that way since 1956, but of course, we can make it any way you like as well. So the next time you come in to order your fresh sliced sub, ask for it Mike's way. You'll see why. It's been the best way for over 60 years. Jersey Mike's, we're a sub above.
Good morning, First Casualty Insurance. This is Jared.
Jared, I just rear-ended a brand new Lexus. The guy really looks mad, and I'm sitting in my car with my windows rolled up. What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Wanda, now stay calm. Is anyone injured? Have you called the police?
They just arrived. Oh, Jared, am I in big trouble?
Wanda, you're not in trouble. The officer will need to get some info from you and the other driver. You should go ahead and get out of the car and speak with them.
Okay, if I have to.
When you are finished with the police, give me a call back, and I will help you file a claim so that your car and the other person's car can be repaired as quickly as possible.
Oh, thank you, Jared. You've made me feel so much better. I love First Casualty Insurance.
We represent over 3 dozen outstanding companies. Call us anytime you have an insurance question. We want to be your insurance people. 910-692-8303. First Casualty Insurance Group, Southern Pines. 910-692-8303.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. Parts of North Carolina are bracing for a little more snow and freezing rain today after digging out from a major winter storm over the weekend, which brought 20 inches to some locations and is blamed for at least one death. At least 250,000 people are without power in North and South Carolina. WCBS radio meteorologist Craig Allen says there is a plus side. Warmer weather's on the way.
While it is very cold this morning, the temperatures will remain below average. The good news is that during the daytime hours, as we progress through the week, the afternoon mercury will get a little bit above freezing and then more so and more so that by the end of this week, temperatures will be at or even above average, and that certainly will help the situation.
Power, or the lack of it, is still a major issue for many this morning, but Duke Energy officials say progress is being made. Thousands of people were without power across the state, including Tony Maldonado in Buncombe County. He tells WLOS News.
I cruise through the neighborhood looking for them, not one power truck in my area.
Governor Roy Cooper says there is lots outside help for utility crews working to quickly get power back on to businesses and homes.
Utility crews have brought in more than 1,500 crews from other states.
North Carolina's governor says the State Highway Patrol responded to more than 500 crashes and more than 1,100 calls due to the storm. Forecaster David Roth.
It looks like Asheville set a daily snowfall record with 5.3 inches. They broke their daily record by 3 inches.
Officials confirm a man was killed. His wife was injured when a tree fell on a car near Matthews, near Charlotte. Tyler Bell lives in the neighborhood. He got a blanket for the man's wife, who suffered only minor injuries.
How is this tree going to fall at the right time of day just for that person to get hit? It's terrible, but makes you think about how precious life is.
You're listening to NCN News.
What's the best-selling small tractor in America? Kubota's BX Series Compact. Now get a BX 1880 for as low as $99 a month with 0% APR financing for 84 months. Now through December 31st, 2018. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Basketball season is here, and so is the 2018 ACC Basketball Preview Magazine. You can find it on newsstands everywhere and online right now at ACCSports.com. Get the scoop on all the teams with predictions from the experts, recruiting news, and rankings of the best ACC players and teams. No other magazine dedicates 10 pages to each ACC school, each jam-packed with stats and information. Want a copy shipped to you? It's easy. Just go to ACCSports.com and click on the Basketball Preview banner.
Kubota's L2501 DT packs powerful performance in one easy-to-operate compact tractor. Now get payments as low as $135 a month with 0% APR financing for 84 months. Now through December 31st, 2018. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
While the snow is causing headaches on the roadways, it's also causing cancellations and delays at Raleigh-Durham International Airport, Charlotte Douglas, and Piedmont Triad. Patrick Glaze of the Raleigh-Durham International Airport tells Spectrum News the airport currently has 145 flights canceled so far.
We've got a great operations team who's putting in
in the hours to make sure that our flight operations can continue as normal as possible.
It's not even winter yet, but we are dealing with severe weather in the Triangle. The weather has wreaked havoc on the roadways. The State Highway Patrol has recorded 700 wrecks so far in Durham. The new sheriff, Clarence Burkhead, tells WTVD News.
We're hearing a lot of talk and chatter on social media that it's safe to drive on the snow with a four-wheel drive. And just want to caution everyone, it's never really 100% safe to drive in these types of road conditions. So we're still encouraging people to stay in if at all possible.
President Trump is making a new list of possible successors to outgoing White House Chief of Staff John Kelly, now that the presumed favorite to replace him, Nick Ayers, currently Chief of Staff for Vice President Mike Pence, says he is not interested in the job. More from CBS's Weijia Zhang at the White House.
White House sources tell CBS News the president wanted Ayers to commit through the 2020 re-election campaign. The 36-year-old, though, was eager to move back to Georgia to spend time with his young family, but says he will work with the MAGA team to advance the cause.
But the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says fight the urge. Here's Ava Burnett.
The CDC wants you to say no to raw cookie dough. Officials are using this holiday season to remind all of the bakers out there that eating or tasting unbaked products can make you sick. Flour and raw eggs especially can contain bacteria and salmonella.
Mike Rayleigh, NTN News.
Good morning. Scattered showers likely early this morning with a slight chance that we could see some sleet and freezing rain mix in. Otherwise, not expecting much in the way of any accumulation today. Tonight will finally start to dry out with mostly cloudy skies in the forecast, but a hard freeze with low temperatures falling into the upper 20s tonight could create some black ice issues into early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, clearing skies with sunshine by the afternoon and highs in the mid-40s. I'm Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, we still have some rain, 34 degrees, humidity 100%, dew point 34, pressure 30.03, winds north at 9, gusting to 16, visibility down to 2 statute miles. It is 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Monday morning. Topping our news, the Southern Pines Police Department announced the arrest of Jonathan Isaiah Durham, 21 years of age, of Southern Pines, for the offenses including possession with intent to sell, deliver marijuana, felony possession of marijuana, and other drug-related charges, as well as possession of a firearm with a serial number altered, removing, carrying a concealed firearm, and resisting arrest. On Friday, the officers from the Southern Pines Police Department were conducting a narcotics investigation in the 1200 block of West New York Avenue in Southern Pines. During that investigation, Jonathan Isaiah Durham attempted to flee on foot from the investigating officers and was apprehended a short distance away from the wooded area. And from the Cooper Ford scoreboard, Pinecrest High School came up short on a historical season in their semifinal 4AA playoff football game. They lost to the defending state champion, the Cougars of Wake Forest, by a score of 49-7. Pinecrest players accepted the East Regional runner-up trophy and then watched as the top-seeded Cougars celebrated their third straight regional title. Wake Forest will face Vance High School, which defeated Myers Park 21-13 in the West Regional final in the state 4AA championship game next Saturday at Dukes Wallace Wade Stadium. The Patriots were the first team in history of Moore County to reach the semifinal round of the state's playoffs. Pinecrest was not the only team from the Sand Hills Athletic Conference that's still alive in the playoffs. Scotland, a team Pinecrest defeated 34-12 in October, continued its improbable playoff run by knocking off 71st, another conference member, in the East Regional final of the 4 single-A playoffs. The number 10 seeded Scots will now face the top-seeded East Forsyth in the championship game. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes the rest of your sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. It is 8:16.
NTN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The Panthers dropped their 5th straight game yesterday as Baker Mayfield outplayed Cam Newton in Cleveland, and the Browns damaged Carolina's playoff hopes 26-20. Cam Newton said it's frustrating.
Coming up short each and every week with similar settings, and I wish I had the words to say, but I don't. In this league, that's what it always comes down to, finding ways to keep the game close or just to win late in the game, and we just haven't found that way to win in those situations.
Elsewhere in the division, Drew Brees shrugged off a pair of turnovers by turning a 14-3 halftime deficit into a 28-14 win at Tampa. The Saints improved to 11-2, and they clinched the division with the win. The Kansas City Chiefs clinched an AFC playoff berth with a 27-24 win over the Ravens. Harrison Butker's 36-yard field goal in overtime sealed it. Patrick Mahomes threw a touchdown with 53 seconds left in regulation to tie up the game. He finished with 377 yards and 2 scores. New England could have clinched the AFC East on Sunday if it weren't for the Dolphins' Kenyon Drake. He raced 52 yards off of a lateral in the game's final play to send Miami past the Pats 34-33. Tom Brady gave credit where credit was due.
They made a good play. I think we all had plays on offense for kind of those desperation plays, and I thought, they did a good job executing it. So, football's a crazy game. It shouldn't have come down to that. I think we left a lot more points on the board offensively.
The Bears improved to 9-4 and a 15-6 stifling of the 11-2 LA Rams. Quarterback Jared Goff threw a career-high 4 interceptions and was sacked 3 times.
Nothing wrong with me. Just got to play better. They've done a good job defensively, and last week they did a good job, and this week just the same. They did a good job defensively and had a hard time. But I don't think this will be the last time I have a bad game, and I don't think it'll be the last time I have 2 bad games in a row if I play for as long as I want to.
The Cowboys beat the Eagles in overtime, and the Giants won for the 4th time in 5 games. They clobbered the Redskins 40-16. This is NCN Sports.
Voters have spoken in North Carolina. How can you make sense of what they said about the legislature, Congress, the courts, the Constitution? Carolina Journal helps answer those questions, and it helps you look ahead to 2019. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
The Carolina Hurricanes' incredibly popular Homegrown series continues to celebrate the best that the state of North Carolina. December 20th, as the Canes host the Red Wings, you can indulge in savory chicken and biscuits, flights of fresh and local beer from Linwood Brewing Concern. Maybe try a cheer wine float for dessert, or take home one of only 250 t-shirts specially designed by House of Swank. Learn more at hurricanes.com/homegrown.
NBA play on Sunday. The Hornets were 119-107 winners over the Knicks. Kemba Walker furnished 25 points, and Jeremy Lamb added 19 in the win. Milwaukee's the first team to beat the Raptors twice this season after the Bucks' 104-99 decision at Toronto. DeMar DeRozan, Rudy Gay, and LaMarcus Aldridge each had at least 20 points and a combined for more than half of San Antonio's offense in a 110-97 win against the Jazz. The Pelicans also in action. They got past the Pistons 116-108. Harold Baines and Lee Smith will be spending a few days in Cooperstown next year. Baines was a surprising selection for the Baseball Hall of Fame, while Smith was a unanimous choice by the 16-member Today's Game Era Committee at the winter meetings. Former manager Lou Piniella received 11 votes, 1 shy of induction. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Please join Temple Theater this holiday season for It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play. On stage November 29th through December 16th. This beloved American holiday classic comes to captivating life as a live 1940s radio broadcast. Dozens of characters help to tell the heartwarming story of George Bailey and Clarence, the lovable angel who gets his wings one fateful Christmas Eve. Don't miss It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play. On stage November 29th through December 16th. Tickets are $27 and available by calling the Temple box office at 919-774-4155 or online at templeshows.com. That's 919-774-4155 or online at templeshows.com. Sponsored by Wilkinson Cadillac, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC.
Hi, this is Chef Karen at Philly and Colts, and I'm here to thank all of our wonderful customers and friends that have helped us grow into one of the finest restaurants and event spaces in the area. We are open daily for lunch, dinner Tuesday through Saturday, and our Sunday brunch buffet is fabulous at only $14.95. So come out and enjoy our great food, beautiful bar, and unique atmosphere. Philly and Colts at Little River Golf and Resort, 4 miles north of the traffic circle.
Tired of Republicans and Democrats combined? How about some free thinking anchored in the Constitution and the Declaration? Hi, this is Dave Zanotti from the Public Square. You can join in that kind of thought every day at thepublicsquare.com, and you can listen in every week as we look for real answers to real questions. Listen in Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sunday at 3 p.m. right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB.
This is Chuck from Sunbelt Service Pros. Are you just not feeling it anymore with your AC service provider? Are you calling those guys because that's what you've always done, or because there's a sticker on the thermostat with an old phone number on it? How about this? Take a chance and you'll be thrilled to find that you're getting real value for your heating and cooling dollars. When you call Sunbelt Service Pros, you are dealing with a professional and reliable service provider. Our technicians are highly trained and certified and can quickly address any issues. Our customers find our technicians and office staff courteous, friendly, and professional throughout the whole process. We're doing something right here. You need to check us out. Find out what you've been missing and call us today. Sunbelt Service Pros at 910-944-2044 or go online to sunbeltservicepros.com.
Hello, I'm Pat McClain, and would like to welcome you to McClain Drug. McClain Drug is located at 735 South Bennett Street. We offer easy access, friendly, helpful service, drive-through pickup, and discount drug prices. And don't forget at McClain, we offer pet and equine prescriptions. So when we say make McClain Drug your one-stop shop for all your prescriptions, we do mean all.
McClain Drug at 735 South Bennett Street in Southern Pines for all your prescription needs. 246-9355.
At First Bank, North Carolina's largest independent community bank, we know your dream may be to make it possible for your child to achieve theirs. Whether you want to start saving for their education, to pay for a first tuition bill, or to help your student be a smart spender, First Bank offers a wide range of products and services to help you achieve your dreams. From student checking accounts to prepaid debit cards, savings accounts to home equity lines of credit, you'll find a great fit at First Bank.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Building a new home or thinking about changing your existing floors? Aberdeen Carpet can show you the latest flooring trends that will fit your budget and lifestyle. Flooring is what we do every day. Visit Aberdeen Carpet's large showroom and discount warehouse filled with an extensive inventory, ready for immediate pickup. We offer expert advice, competitive pricing, and a huge selection. Located on Highway 5 in Aberdeen near the Habitat for Humanity store. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturdays 9 to 4. Call 944-6204 or go online to aberdeencarpet.com.
Kingswood Nursing Center in Aberdeen reminds you the care and support of our older or disabled Americans is a year-round concern. Unfortunately, during the holidays, loneliness and want are more deeply felt. This holiday season, spend some time with an elderly or disabled member of our community. The time you spend will make a huge difference. Show you care about others' needs. This message from Kingswood Nursing Center at 915 PD Road in Aberdeen. Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. There was a mother in the news last week because someone had made fun of her baby's name. She had named her child ABCDE. What do you think about that? Don't we have a right to name our kid anything we want? Or is there a point where we say, no, that's cruel to the child? There could be a time when this name might make the child popular. In preschool, for example, when the teacher asks, okay, who can tell me the first 5 letters of the alphabet? And only one hand goes up. The teacher says, yes, A, B, C, D, E, what are they? And all of a sudden, every other hand goes up. Today, there's another story about a woman who canceled her baby shower because her family was ridiculing the name she had chosen for her child. She was going to name him Squire Sebastian Senator. And she made it clear there would be no nicknames allowed, and then he would be called by his full first name. And I don't care to argue over whether or not she has that right, but I can tell you this, that kid better get used to having his head stuck in a locker and his pants hauled up the flagpole. No, it's not right, but for crying out loud, give the kid some help. Don't start him off at a huge disadvantage. She says her family was all rooted in Squiredom and were all related to senators. Well, I have roots too. But thank goodness my parents didn't name me lying in the gutter drinking out of a paper bag. Sometimes you just got to do things for the child. Put your own feelings aside. Hope everyone has a good day. from the Zumwalt zone.
Good Monday morning. Waking up to scattered showers today. The chance for some mix possible as well, and not expecting much in the way of accumulation today. Tonight it is going to be chilly, and as temperatures climb into the mid to upper 30s today, tonight as lows fall into the mid to upper 20s, any melting could refreeze, so be cautious driving tomorrow. Mostly cloudy tonight, and then clearing skies expected throughout the day tomorrow as highs climb into the mid 40s south and the upper 30s to the north. I'm Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Greetings and welcome back. It's Monday.
Are you ready for an exciting and challenging day?
You betcha, can't wait.
Let's talk about your show.
Okay.
Let me start at the beginning. Give me an hour on the mic. I'll show you how it's done.
Honestly, love you or loathe you, just as long as they keep listening.
Bad radio, which is what you're describing right now.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Have a good show. It's showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again, my friends, for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the Leader Man's anoxic sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. One click of the link right there at the top middle of the page will get you where you want to be. If you're on your mobile device, YouTube will do the work. And just put Mornings with the Leader Man into that app, and we'll pop up at the top of your search results. If you just need our audio, we suggest platforms like TuneIn, iTunes, or Streama. Any of those apps will work. Just put WEEB in the search, and we'll pop up to the top of that result. And if you want to get it off of our website, it's available to you 24/7, 365, in the upper right-hand corner of every page of our webpage at talk973.com. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. Cloudy with rain, maybe a sprinkle of snow. Looks for a high of 37. Tonight, mostly cloudy as this stuff pulls out of here. A small chance of rain or snow. Low of 30. Tomorrow, back to sunshine and 45. Then tomorrow night, clear and 25. Wednesday, sunny and 49. Thursday, partly cloudy, 48. And over the weekend, be half and half. Half rain on Saturday and sunshine on Sunday.
And we wanted to note that in most of the county, the roads are completely passable. Up in the Robbins area, they get dicey.
Well, they that's kind of where the line was, right there, Carthage, where it starts to transition over to a major snowstorm. But
and if you want to give us an adverse traffic report or a road condition report, you can text me at 690-0116. 690-0116.
What was I going to say? Senior moment. Oh, Lord. Yeah, we dodged a real white bullet this time here locally in Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen area. Whereas all we saw was rain and a little dusting yesterday morning of some slushy snow, but nothing really to worry about. But as you went north, it got worse quick. Some places getting as much as 18 inches of snow. Glad it wasn't us.
We made an Australian website. North Carolina governor says weather emergency. All the way down in Australia. Not sure why, but they did.
Funny you should mention Australia.
Crikey!
Because I have, let's see, where is it? I had a good sound bite. Here it is. A guy in Australia wanted to keep his dogs from getting into it with a kangaroo. But the kangaroo charged him instead.
Yikes.
Best advice, leave a kangaroo alone. Because they got the hoofs that'll cut you up and powerful legs that'll kick you about the distance of a football field. Anyway, the kangaroo knocked him down, kicked him in the chest. His daughter filmed it, and she seemed so concerned when he got knocked out of him by a kangaroo.
Giant
Dad,
rat.
it's coming! Dad! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
So funny to see Daddy beat up, isn't it? By a mammal. I was looking at the pilot this morning.
That's when you get your baseball bat out and make dinner right there on the spot.
I was looking at Sunday's pilot this morning, and I was told Matt, I said, they got 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures here on the front page. And I said, they showed the community and all that. That part we'll give them A+ on. But as far as the quality of the pictures go, it's terrible. People in a line doing things.
Well, lines can be riveting, Steve.
Instead of making a real photograph out of it. And too many times with today's electronics, people just pick it up and click, 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 and they're an instant photographer, quote unquote. Don't think they fall in the photographer category. They took a picture. And the local paper didn't have very low standards and will publish it. Because when I worked at the News and Observer, if I had submitted pictures like that for the front page, they would have fired me. Because there's nothing there. Except some people standing in a row. You just don't get it. Use your imagination, get better angles, stand on a chair, shoot down, up, things like that. And they have these guys ringing these bells, the hand bells that you see at Christmas time. And the picture's got two guys there with two handbells next to their chest. That's how they muffle them out when they're not being rung. Well, they should have waited till he had the bell up in the air ringing it. Show a little something to it, add something to it if he's going to use that angle. Or better yet, have a bell real close to your lens and another guy down in the distance ringing the bell. You got to look at the situation and say, how can you make it 100% better or 1,000% better? But that's the pilot for you. They send a quote, reporter out with a camera and call him a photographer. Okay. All right, let's move on. What else do? Oh, yeah, we got to do this. We can't let the week start without beating up Matt just a little bit.
And now it's time for Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes. Or BS.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
I'm adopting the Obama era thing of yes, we can go without beating up Matt.
No, we can't. It's time for Yes or BS, where we'll give Matt a statement. He'll decide yes, it's true, or no, it's total BS. Wayne's World 2 and Sister Act 2 both hit theaters 45 years ago. And Airplane 2 came out 36 years ago today. So the topic is movie sequels. Movie sequel.
36 years ago.
Sure makes you feel old, doesn't it?
What's that you say, Sonny?
The first Star Wars sequel was Return of the Jedi.
BS, Steve.
What was it?
The Empire Strikes Back.
Ding.
Episode
Empire Strikes
5.
Back was the first sequel. Then what was after that?
Return of the Jedi.
Then the 3 prequels, followed by the current sequels and standalone films. The Silence
That
of the...
go on and on and on and are the same damn things with different characters.
Now it's just, let's throw some more, vomit special effects all over the screen to the point that your mind can't absorb it all. And you go, whoa, cool, man. You want some popcorn? Silence of the Lamb was a sequel.
Silence of the Lambs was a sequel? No, BS.
You're wrong. It was a sequel to Manhunter from 1986, where Brian Cox played Hannibal Lecter.
Never heard of it.
A remake of it with Anthony Hopkins called Red Dragon came out in 2002. Reginald Vale Johnson played Al Powell in Die Hard, the main cop who helped John McClane from outside the building, but he hasn't appeared in any of the sequels.
So you're saying the character was John McCain? No, BS.
No, I did not say that.
John McClane. Yes, that's true.
No, it's BS.
I wouldn't know his name if it bit me in the
He was
butt.
also in, he was the overweight cop outside.
I know who he was, but I don't know his name or his
I
character's
told you.
name.
It's Reginald Bell Johnson is his name.
Well, then I got it right.
No.
Well, what was the question?
You said he wasn't in any of the other sequels.
Oh, I didn't say that. I said his name was Reginald Vale Johnson. Yeah, he was in sequels.
Well, you got it wrong. He was in Die Hard 2. McClane calls him from the airport, and he's at his desk opening a Twinkie.
Yes, he is. I remember that scene.
Alvin and the Chipmunks, the squeakquel, made over $400 million in theaters.
Is that a? That's BS, by the way. But is that about chickens?
That's incorrect, by the way.
Is that about chickens? The
correct answer is yes. 220 million in the U.S. plus another 224 million internationally. The original made about the same in the U.S. but didn't do so well overseas. There's a sequel to A Christmas Story called My Summer Story.
BS.
I believe you got them all wrong but one. That would be a 20 on this test. Yes, it was. It came out in 1994. The original was It Runs in the Family, but they changed it to My Summer Story. Karen Culkin played Ralphie. Charles Grodin and Mary Steenburgen played his parents, and it bombed.
Steenburgen.
Cost $15 million to make, and it brought in $71,000 at the box office.
It was a great movie.
That was a huge loss. But the actors got paid, and that's all they care about, right? Just didn't make any bonus money. I guess. All righty. Well, let's go from there and move on to our morning rim shots this morning and see how we fare in that category. Meryl Streep just became a grandmother and was immediately nominated for Oscar for Best Grandmother, of course. Oprah says America needs a collective reckoning. I agree. We need to spend less time fighting and more time coming through social media for old homophobic tweets, don't you? Eddie Murphy may host the Oscars. Good luck, Eddie. You might have some little shoes to fill there. Halle Baldwin Bieber says social media has had a negative impact on her mental health. Oh, let's say it together. Oh, boo-hoo.
Gee, it's had a negative impact on all our mental health.
Really? That's weird, said everyone who obsessively trolls their execs on Instagram.
Exes, maybe?
Exes. American Express is suing Lamar Odom for an unpaid $17,000 credit card bill. The most shocking part of the story, apparently crack dealers take American Express. A former Miss Kentucky, who now works as a middle school teacher, was arrested for sending nudes to a 15-year-old student.
Good Lord.
The boy has agreed to testify against her, provided he gets to keep the pictures.
That wasn't funny. It's shocking and disgusting.
Senator Marco Rubio said it would be a terrible mistake for President Trump to pardon Paul Manafort. Asked what he would do if it happened, Rubio took a sip of water and disappeared. And the Smithsonian has released a list of this year's best science books, in case you're looking for a Christmas present for your favorite version. And that's your rim shots for today. All right, 8:43 now past the hour. On this Monday's program.
You, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden.
All right, my friends, it's time once again to suck in that big breath of air, let our big hairy chest stick out. As we proudly strut across the floor in the style of the Duke John Wayne, open up our closet doors, look at all 30 of our Liberty safes from Carthage Shooting Sports. Today we're going to go to safe number, 6. Haven't been here in forever.
Well, that's another modern Lincoln, Steve.
All right. Well, we'll open this modern Lincoln right on up, put the combo in, and open her up for Matt. Let Matt reach in and grab the weapon of choice here.
All right, we're gonna do another 380 today. This is a Ruger LC 380, obviously chambered in 380 ACP, a little semi-auto that you can tuck away.
All right, well, we'll throw that into our holster, pin on our badge, grab five cans of whoop ass as we now go out in relentless pursuit of our stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1. I'm no expert, but I feel like this is a really bad job interview strategy. 24-year-old named Dominic Breedlove had a job interview this week. I should say this past week at Kohl's in Spring Hill, Florida. And when his interview was over, he shoplifted 2 pairs of women's shoes from the store. The security guard spotted him and called the police. Dominic told them he took the shoes to give to his mom as a gift. He was arrested for retail theft, and believe it or not, I don't see why not, he was not hired for the job.
They didn't hire him? After showing
That's
initiative?
discrimination against innocent people waiting trial.
Obviously a big fan of the store and their product.
Yeah. You watch. He'll sue and they'll be forced to hire him. Super criminal news number 2. Apparently, there's no actual crime in Taiwan because the cops have the time and resources for this. There was a woman who's a student at Chinese Cultural University in Taipei, Taiwan. Or Tempe, Taiwan. Is that how it's pronounced?
Taipei.
Taipei.
At least that's how I've always heard it. I don't know how the Chinese pronounce it.
I thought you had been there. Anyway.
I was in Beijing.
Well, you wanted to go to a humidity fest. This is where it is.
All right.
Taiwan. Anyway, they recently called the police to report a crime. One of her 5 roommates ate some of her yogurt. Even though it cost less than $2, she was furious. And she demanded a DNA test. And the police actually did it. They spent more than $500 on a test of the roommate and the empty yogurt container, but the process worked. And the cops figured out which roommate stole the yogurt. Now she's been charged with theft of a $2 yogurt.
Well, let that learn you.
Yeah, I mean, the state would have been better off just giving, hey, how about $10? You can go buy 5 of them if you just let this go. Will that work? No, I want you to spend $500 on me. And that, my friends, is stupid criminal news for this Monday. Okay, it is 8:47, 47 past the hour. And brings us to that part of the program everybody loves because we learn so much, and that is...
And now it's time for...
Random
facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, time for our 4 random facts for today, and maybe, just maybe, a spare. Netflix is now 15% of the web's traffic worldwide. General web browsing is only 17%. 1 million seconds ago, it was November 28th. 1 billion seconds ago was 1987. 1 trillion seconds ago was roughly 30,000 BC. Does that put the word trillion in perspective?
Man, it really does. It really does.
1 trillion seconds ago, it was 30,000 BC. Now picture that in debt, that we are $21 trillion in debt.
Yeah, and that's just the current, that's not even counting all the unfunded liabilities. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security.
An American Tale was the first animated movie to make more money than a competing Disney movie. When it came out in 1986, it made almost twice as much as Disney's The Great Mouse Detective.
Which movie?
An American Tale.
An American Tale. Yeah, that was back during their lousy period.
The Silence of the Lamb is technically a sequel. Manhunter is the first Hannibal Lecter movie, but it only made $8.6 million when it came out in 1986. And it didn't have Anthony Hopkins, of course. He remade it as Red Dragon in 2002.
Yes, of course. I remember that not at all.
If you fall from 48, here's your spare. If you fall from 48 feet or less, there's at least a 50-50 chance you'll survive. 10% of people who fall 84 feet survive. So don't go over 5 stories when you jump, and you might survive.
I wonder how long it takes to reach terminal velocity.
I have no idea.
Hey Siri, how long does it take the human body to reach terminal velocity?
Okay. I found something on the web for how long does it
Okay,
take
great. Don't answer the question. Send me to the web.
Here's the question for you, Matt. You've jumped out of planes before, haven't you?
I have. Not free fall. I haven't done free fall.
You haven't done free fall. Well, if you were to free fall out of a plane, what's the maximum speed you can fall straight down?
Well, that's terminal velocity. What is it, like 140 something, 160 something?
You're pretty close. 134 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's when the wind and friction pushing up is so high that you can't go any faster.
Yeah, the air friction. Does it say how long it takes to get to terminal velocity?
No. It doesn't say that. I just happen to remember that from my my college physics class at North Carolina State. I remember, I think that was the only professor I remember the name of. No, I remember two. His name was Seekendollar, Dr. Seekendollar. And he was one of the ones who worked on the atomic bomb. And the uranium was always wrapped in lead, and he was handling it, and it fell on the floor. And they were so worried that lead shield had cracked.
Well, I would think so.
But the Geiger counter showed that it had not.
Now, according to, and this is just in core, whether this is true or not, I don't know. It all looks very official, but skydivers that go in the belly to earth, where they're not pointing straight down, they're splayed out so that they're exposing maximum resistance to the air, that terminal velocity is only 122. And yet, remarkably, you can still die hitting the ground at 122, all splayed out.
You think so?
And having talked to people,
if you hit water at that speed, you will die.
Yeah, water has a compressibility of concrete. I've talked to people who had picked up people on skydiving, where their chute didn't open, and it just shatters their bones. They're like picking up noodles.
Well, that's why you jump with two, isn't it?
Yeah, if you jump with a reserve.
Isn't that pretty much required?
I don't know. I don't know how they do it I don't know if it's required or not. If you just go up, I guess you can do whatever you want. I don't know.
I think you'd be foolish to fly without it. Jump without it.
Now, in the military, I was never ended up being on a combat jump, but combat jumps tend to be lower altitude. They often don't issue reserves because there's no time. By the time your chute doesn't open, you don't have time to open another one. So you're just a human missile.
Let's see here. All right, things we need to know so we do not sound stupid today. Wisdom, a 68-year-old Wisdom, a 68-year-old Laysan albatross. That's the bird. It's the oldest known wild bird in the world. It's about to become a mom again for the 37th time.
That's an old bird.
That's an old active bird.
Old active bird. But, we know that macaws and stuff like that, parrots live to grand ripe old ages exceeding humans even, but apparently they haven't labeled any in the wild that way.
Turns out that a couple of nuns in Southern California Catholic school have been embezzling funds for a year. They took up to right at $500,000 to spend on gambling junkets. I guess they figured they'd win and put it back. The movie about Dick Cheney called Vice led the Golden Globe nominees with 6. Fired Green Bay Packer Mike McCarthy, coach, was allowed to come back, say goodbye to his players last Wednesday. Dixie Chick front woman Natalie Maines is battling her estranged husband over their prenup, and millions of dollars are on the line. Well, boo-hoo to her, huh? Let's see. Kiss rocker Gene Simmons is being sued by a woman who claims he groped her at the opening of his Rock and Brew restaurant back in 2016.
Oh, a rocker? Gene Simmons?
2 years ago. Folks behind the Marlboro cigarettes are sinking $1.8 billion with B dollars into a legal pot business.
And why wouldn't they?
Study says when pot comes legal everywhere, they're not going to be smoking cigarettes, they'll be smoking marijuana.
Who knows how to do it better than they?
Astronomer Neil DeGrasse Tyson, you know him, he's the famous African-American astronomer on TV. He's being accused of sexual misconduct by a fourth woman.
Big lefty.
Do believe the smoke is starting to rise there. And Tara Reid is accusing the producers of the fine movies Sharknado. Yeah, you can't live without a Sharknado movie in your life. She's accusing them of making a killing off her face by licensing her image for slot machines without her permission. So she is suing, and she says $100 million will make things right. You're not that pretty, honey. Today's impossible question. 3% of Americans consume this at lunch. Will consume this at lunch today. What is it?
Rice.
No. One more try.
Veal.
Americans.
Americans eat veal.
Alcohol. 49% of women hate it when their man does this from a container.
Drinks. Thank you for the softball.
Yeah, this is a very big softball. Study says that if you don't like food, you should eat at a different location to see if it will taste better.
Okay.
30% of people have been late to this because they were getting their favorite coffee.
Work.
I'll give you credit. They're a meeting. According to a poll, our top phobias are what?
Spiders must be up there.
That's second.
Top phobias. Dark?
Nope. Height and enclosed spaces. So it goes for this Monday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9, for a titillating Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans, they have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the Dog will all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Dog Park.
And I'm Matt Horsey with a warning from author George R.R. Martin. Winter is coming. Stay tuned for the Chris Plant Show. Rush Limbaugh will be on at noon. Sean Hannity comes on at 3. Mark Levin at 6. Remember, we have 3 different channels you can listen to WEEB on simulcast. And Steve Leader and I will be back tomorrow at 7 for Mornings with the Leader Man.
When I come back, you'd better be laughing.
So, what have we learned? Heck, I don't know. But this is one crazy show. Bye now.
Cut! That's it. Go home, everybody. None of this ever happened. Well, y'all come back now, you hear?
I think we're through here.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much, man. That's pretty much all I got, man. Okay, class dismissed. Rock on!
Well, let me tell you something. Everything comes to an end.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump says it won't be long before he names a new White House chief of staff, although the search has taken some surprising twists and turns.
The president made it official Saturday.
John Kelly will be leaving at the end of the year.
Most senior White House officials figured Kelly's successor was already in place, Nick Ayers, the vice president's current chief of staff. But Ayers said yesterday he's out of the running to be the president's third chief of staff in fewer than 2 years. A person familiar with his thinking says the president's considering 4 names, including House Freedom Caucus Chair Mark Meadows and White House Budget Chief Mick Mulvaney, though a person close to him says Mulvaney's not interested. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
The British government's Brexit plans up in the air, with Prime Minister Theresa May making an emergency statement to lawmakers amid signs that she'll postpone a parliamentary vote on leaving the European Union. Parts of the southeast struggling to get back on their feet this morning after